Hello, 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 and welcome to this very special episode of Angels Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jeannie Street, spiritual medium, healer, and author of my brand new book, Believe Angels Don't Lie, a heavenly view of God's plan for your well-being. On this episode, I'm going to share some childhood information, some things that came up recently during this quarantine time, this unseen time that we've ever had on our planet with you, because I feel like it's very relevant, and it's a difficult time. It's a difficult time in our world to remember love. And so I have some insights and I have some information for you that I know will serve you on an amazing level. So let's get this party started, shall we? Again, this is a special episode. I'm sorry, putting my sweater on. This is a special episode because I actually had ended the program. I decided I was no longer doing the podcast and taking call-ins and doing those live readings because I was exhausted. And Spirit led me to believe, or led me to the understanding, that you can't continue the same way, that there needed to be a change up. And so I did. I changed things up. I sat with it. And though we're not doing call-ins and I'm doing this podcast on my own without Casey on the side, I do feel like there's valuable information that can help people in need and to keep supporting and holding us together. And for me, I actually also need this connection. I need to be able to serve and to show up, to shine my light, because that's something that's valuable for me. So I brought this to my team of angels, and I sat and I prayed and I said, how can I show up in a way that's authentic, that's in a way that's not going to deplete me, in a way that's going to inspire and support people? And this is what happened. Just share. Just don't make a big deal about it. Just do an easy podcast. Don't do call-ins. And this was the rolling message. And of course, my angels, I've shared with you guys before, they're lighthearted. They're energetic. They're supportive. They want me to shine. They don't want me to They don't want me to be depleted, because we're humans. So really, there's no right or there's no wrong, right? There's just a matter of, is this serving me? Is this going to serve my highest and best good? And if I'm serving my highest and best good, then I can serve others that way. They'll receive in that way. But if I'm depleted, then others are going to feel that depletion. And they also might stay in a depleted role in their own lives. So that being said, let's move on to what I have for you today. So I was thinking last week about as I was getting ready to do my weekly blog, and I've been returning to my blog, my writing, which is something that I had also put aside because I was doing so many recordings, so many, podcasts and live things, that I wasn't writing anymore. And so as I sat down to write, this creative flow has really been high vibe for me. It's been just, awakening. And so I sat with it and I thought, okay, what are my memories of my Easter growing up, right? What do I remember most about my family and, the gifts and what I wore, all the things we think about, traditions, because we're not having a normal tradition this year. It's not about family gatherings and who's going to come and what I'm going to buy the grandkids, or if I'm going to get my kids an Easter gift, and I'm not going to go to Hallmark. I'm not getting cards. It's different. And I thought about the one thing that really sat with me and stayed with me is when we used to get up for sunrise service. When I was a child, this was something that our family did. I grew up Catholic, and so we would have sunrise service. We hosted it at our house, and we also went to other people's homes who, that had farms or whatever near us, and we would go there. And I specifically remember getting up early and, being tired and sleepy and getting dressed and knowing it was cold outside and the sun wasn't up, but so excited that I was going to see Jesus. I was going to have that moment. I don't remember the first sunrise service. I just remember them kind of grouped together and the overall feeling and sight that I saw. And for me, I've always been a girl who feels on a deep level. So the feeling of the light coming up over the hills and shining through like the field, and those beams, those rays of light that would touch each and every soul standing there watching and touching our hearts. And I could feel what it felt like. I also have a visual gift, so I can see as well. So I could see the light of God. I could see Jesus touching each and every soul that was standing there through those rays. This is what stayed with me. This is what I have carried on in my life. And it's funny because as I raised my own family, we didn't take on that tradition of giving our kids sunrise service. It wasn't something that even came to my mind until now, until we're quarantined and having to stay home. And I really sat with it and I thought the most important thing for me about Easter was seeing the rising, seeing it, feeling it, knowing what it feels like. Really important. So this Easter, I actually got up and I did a sunrise service of my own. I did try to, put one together last minute, thinking I could do it with my brother and we could, do a Zoom one. It just didn't work out, but that's okay. It all worked out exactly how it was supposed to. So I woke up early, and my poor dear husband, who has been working and working and working, he's a if you guys don't know, he owns a provision company. So he's providing meat and provisions for grocery stores and restaurants around our area. Sorry, I need a drink of water. And so that means he's really, working many, many hours, because in the food business, you've seen this, just like we've seen with paper goods, this need of food and people calling in, and it's just been crazy. And he's also had the experience of wearing masks and, this virus coming through there. They've had a couple employees leave because they have the virus. And so it's been a very big challenge for him. And me on the home side, I've just been trying to provide the comfort and the food and the love and the support for him as he's going off. We have a whole system where he even comes home and he puts his clothes in a bin, and he's, gets undressed in the garage, and he's, decontaminating himself. He wears a mask every day, and it's been a lot. And I'm not the only one, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So that being said, he was like, really, you're going to make me get up for sunrise? Meanwhile, I've been going to work at 3:30 every morning and coming home late and literally, 7 o'clock and falling asleep by 7:30, barely getting dinner in the guy, shower and dinner, and he's passing out because he's so friggin' tired. And I'm like, hey, on your only day off, you want to get up and watch the sunrise with me? So needless to say, it wasn't a big deal. I did wake up, and he said, I'll get up with you. So we sat out on our front porch, and we watched the sun peek up. I read some prayers, and we watched our dogs run around and be really crazy. And we just smiled and said, all right, that's it. Let's go in. It was so low key, and it was so beautiful at the same time, because it was a remembrance. It was something that I brought back in, that I honored and loved from my childhood. So I wanted to share that with you today, because I'm sure for you, you've had things come forward for you, memories, things that you miss, things that you long for. And I want to remind you that you can make something new out of those memories. You can do something that's different and not the same, and have the same equal effect in your own life and feel it. I felt through the trees, because we have some woods across the street from us instead of a field like I did as a child. I watched the sunbeams come through the trees. I watched those beams touch the grass, touch the trees, the tips of the leaves that are just beginning. I saw them touch our hearts And it was the same feeling. It was the same exact feeling as when I was a child, that Jesus was present, that God was touching us and shining that beautiful love on us, reminding us nothing has changed. If we are in the state of grace, nothing has changed. I also wanted to share a really poignant experience, something that really changed me recently. You know, I have this gift of connection. I see spirit, I feel spirit on all levels. I have that connection of, communication with the departed. And so I have a really nice system set up with my angels where I don't work when I'm off duty. Like if I'm off duty, it's almost like I have a sign up that says, not working, come back tomorrow. And if some soul does happen to come through, I always check with my angels and I trust that if the soul is coming through, there's a reason. The angels are saying, like, this is an important message, pay attention. So rarely does this happen, in the middle of the night, because this is my time of regeneration. I'm sleeping, I'm renewing, right? I'm healing, because that's what we do when we sleep. We regenerate new cells in our body. And that's what I was doing, sleeping. And I keep getting this tap in, is what I call it, when spirit touches. It's like a ding dong, bing, the bell's ringing. Knock, knock, let me in. And I'm like, I'm rolling over. I'm so annoyed because it's an elderly woman. I can see her face, and her face is literally in my face. And I'm like, and this is in my mind's eye. And I'm like, listen, angels, help me out here. And they were like, no, it's okay. And I was like, okay, it's okay. That means that she's got a message. And really, guys, it's 2 a.m., but I'm going to get up. And so I'm a little, annoyed, but I got to get up. I'm up. It's 2 a.m. I'm up. So I go into our walk-in closet, which is off of our bathroom, so I can close the door and be quiet so my husband can continue sleeping before he has to, get up in an hour and a half. And I grab a journal. I always keep journals. They're all over the house. It's like one of the things I do. So I grab my journal and I sit down on the heated bathroom floor and I'm like, okay, let's do this. What is it? What's going on? What is it so important that I have to get up? And I'm sleepy, but I'm also open. So this is just, I can be sarcastic, and my angels know that. So that's kind of how I was being. But her message was really important. And so as I sat there, I thought, gosh, maybe I'm dreaming this. Maybe this isn't real. So I'm like, who are you? And I feel her coming through, and her message, and she's just so strong, and she's like telling me that death is not in vain. And I said, what? And so I'm writing it down, and she's correcting me as I'm writing, because I'm writing it in a dyslexic form, because for when I'm tired, I'm dyslexic, it's the middle of the night. And she's like, no, it's our death is not in vain. Oh, our death is not in vain. So now I know this woman has perished from this coronavirus. She's perished from, the COVID-19. And even though I feel like she might be annoyed, I also feel this urgency of, well, what can I do to help? She's coming to me. There's obviously a meaning for it. And she's using her hands and she's gesturing to me. And she's telling me that coming together with yourself, being whole, that's what's important. So her words are few, but her message, her energy about it is so big, is come together for yourself. Come together in love. It seems so simple, and then it's profound, because once you're together in love, that's when you can share with others. That's when you can be the light for someone else. You can't do it for all if you're not doing it for you at once. And that's what the message is. It's like first for self, and then as one. Then as one love. Self-love, and then one love. This is humanity, right? This is what she's talking about. So she says, you are all love. You are all love. You, me, everyone. We are all love. So now I'm like leaning into this more. I'm like, okay, you got my attention. This is a message that I know is needing to be a little bit more expanded upon, because I know this stuff. I know it to the core of who I am. It's my teachings. It's how I show up for my people. It's how I show up for myself. Why are we experiencing massive losses? Why are we experiencing this? I ask her, and she says, child, I am not the creator. I am not God. I am not the creator. So she's just a woman. She's a soul. She's a human who has crossed over. She's in heaven, but she's wanting me to understand the message, a message of hope, a message that will spread quickly, just as this virus has spread as quickly, which means love can spread so much faster than this horrible virus. That love can be the source of our holiness, the source that holds us up. This is the root. This is the tone that will grow. So she's telling me now, she's showing me this vision of a garden, and she's like, if you plant the seed and you nourish that seed with every thought, every action, with your belief, then what will grow is love. So right here, right now, in this very moment, when you think about how profound that is, like if you sit with, are you loving you? Are you nurturing yourself? If you think about your life and the quietness that you have to be still, you have to. Are you in that space? Are you all love? I love her words. You are all love. But are you all love? Like, you have to ask yourself, you have to reword those. You are all love, right? But are you feeling love? Are you loving yourself? Is love what's holding you up? So her role is to tell me that this experience that we're having is about a collective, it's our collective connection. It's about taking that tone of love and spreading that instead of fear, instead of that evil propaganda that we know is real. We see it, we feel it, we get it in the media, we get it all over the place. We get it on social media, we get it in the news. So every action and belief that you have internally, is it of love? So she says it again, nurture what you plant. Those are her final words. Nurture what you plant. So the seeds right now that you are placing into your life, the seeds right now of what you're doing, of what you're thinking, of what you're believing, are vital for our planet, are vital for our collective consciousness, are vital for you. So I ask you to take time to nurture the seeds you are planting, to nurture what your beliefs are, to turn to the divine, to surrender, forgive, to turn to compassion. This is what we have. We're living in this nightmare of like a doomsday film, right? And we're waiting for a sign, a hope, something, so that we will know that this movie's going to end, that it's not going to be an epic series that's going to continue on and on and on. So right now is our choice of choosing that love, of having the sunlight. And it doesn't have to be the actual sun. It can be the rays of the divine, of your belief, going into your heart and reminding you, sparking in you that grace for which lives in each and every single one of us. Love is our gift. Love is the gift that's waiting to embrace us all. And I hope you will join me in spreading love and having that be the new thing that feeds our planet and takes over our hearts. I wish you all a most beautiful, glorious day, night, evening. I pray for your health and I pray for your well-being. I send you love. God bless.